Boys, we are here at the MSI booth, and they went all out. We have a lot of products to cover. So this demo here, I'm not going to cover too much in depth, but basically the concept is over on the laptop on the right, they have NVIDIA Broadcast running, right? And on the left here, they have the new Core 9 Ultra CPU from Intel, which has the built-in AI, they call it NPU, right? Now, what the demo is here, basically doing, is it's removing the background, basically it's for streaming, right? And the idea here is, long story short, if you are a single PC streamer and you're using, let's say, broadcast to replace your background or blur your background, give you that DSLR look, the idea being is with Intel's new NPU chip, it does all that for you, reducing the load on your NVIDIA graphics card. And then the idea being, it doesn't take away from your CPU cores, doesn't take away from your graphics card, so you get more gaming performance without any overhead. So it's a pretty neat concept. Don't know if it works in practice, but we'll find out when I guess it would be 15th gen consumer CPUs will have this feature, right, going forward. Okay, now this here, we don't actually care too much about the PC itself. What we do care about is the case, boys. Now the case, as you can see, is a one-piece fish tank. Here, and actually I asked them before, and they will be selling this case separately away from an entire PC by itself. But this case, I mean, you guys can probably see it on the camera, but it's one-piece glass from back all the way to front. So this is actually not released yet, but they will be releasing these cases standalone in the future. But I'm not actually too sure what the case is called. A Vision RS case, but there's a grill up top here. It's basically an O11 clone without the corner, right? MSRP on this case, don't know it yet, still unlaunched. Now for you COD bros, obviously MSI is coming out with their own SL120 fans. Now these ones are not magnetic, they're clip-on. Yeah, so here you can see both of those things live in action here. So we've got, it's plugged in so I can't really turn it too much, but yeah, you see the fish tank? Here, let me move the camera. Yeah, check this out. There you go, that's better. So yeah, you got the fish tank thing here, the seamless fish tank angle going on over here, and then you have I don't even know what to call them, the SL120 clones, right? But they actually look pretty nice though, because they've got, I mean, it's just something different, right? But this case though, honestly, I'm hoping it gets good adoption, because I would not mind doing triple radiator in this thing. You can actually probably fit another 120 mil rad in the back over here. But I actually wouldn't mind using this one for my main rig. It's just, I don't know why I like it so much. I wish I could show you guys in person, but having this seamless one-piece glass, it's really doing it for me, man. It's really doing it. I'll do a quick scan of all the other cases, obviously. I mean, it's nothing special, guys, obviously. It's all the same. Basically, the fish tank thing right here is the only unique one, but it's a different enough take to where I'm actually super interested in this. Okay, dude, this has to be a meme. It's a water-cooled M.2 heatsink. No way. I don't know what to say about this thing, but cool, I suppose. Cool. So this thing is pretty cool. This is, well, it's kind of a high traffic area, so we gotta, whatever, people are gonna walk through, it doesn't really matter. But this thing is like an LCD film for the fish tank case. Now this thing is a prototype and not in production. Oh, you're good, go ahead, yeah, you're good. So they might not even make this. I'm telling them to make it, because it's cool. But they don't know if they are, because they don't know if they're going to actually have a big enough request for these things. But I'm like, dude, you come out with this thing, my audience will buy this thing. I guarantee you COD bros will do that shit. They've got another one here. It's kind of like a height case clone kind of thing, but they have a film for this one as well. Same thing, no prototype. Not sure if it's going to go into production. But yeah, I think they should, man. That shit looks cool. Now this thing is the new 4080 Super that everyone wanted me to cover. This is a very unique design, new prototype from MSI. Now I asked them if they will be making this in a 4090 variant, and unfortunately they said that they will not. They just do not have enough supply of 102 dies to make a new SKU, which makes perfect sense because NVIDIA's dumping all those into AI, right? So yeah, again, super unfortunate that there's no 4090 version because anyone who owns a 4090 already is not going to buy this thing. But it is a triple slot, so it's smaller than their other 4080 mega cards, not the slims, the original ones, right? And this is basically a Founders Edition-esque type card. So there's this grill here, there's a fan on the back pulling air behind it, right? Now I asked them some details about the card. The whole thing is aluminum, no plastic whatsoever. I asked them what the total board power limit is, and then it's prototype, he doesn't know. I asked him, what is the total board dissipation, the total cooler dissipation rate? He said he didn't know, it's a prototype. And then I asked for board power limit. Don't know, it's a prototype. So basically, and I also asked, what are the voltage limits on it? Don't know, it's a prototype. So basically all we can do is look at it. So I'm not too interested in handheld personally, and you guys probably aren't either for my channel, but I did ask them a few questions about it just in case anybody was interested in this thing. Mainly I asked them why did they go with an Intel SoC and not an AMD one, and basically they said power consumption, which I found to be very interesting. So apparently the Intel SoC that they're using on this one pulls, he said, about 2 hours of battery life, full AAA title gaming. And then I asked, well, what about the Intel Arc drivers? Isn't that a concern? And he said that the partnership that they had with Intel made them feel like there was going to be zero issue on driver or support for the device. So he seemed quite damn confident about it. So I mean, I guess we'll find out when I'm not going to test it, but when people actually test it, I guess we'll find out. But and yeah, I mean, look at the ventilation. I mean, it's all good, man. I like it. Yeah. Again, not really interested in this thing personally, but I was more interested in why they chose the Intel SoC, and apparently it's a power consumption thing. Okay, so I'm going to record this next part on my phone because I came here on the second day. And there's just millions of people. I can't set up my camera for this one, so whatever. iPhone 15's got to go. So one interesting thing I missed yesterday was this foot pedal that they're introducing here. The difference being, I think you put your foot like this, and you only pivot it. So you got 3 pedals with a foot pivot, right? So this would have come in handy back in the PUBG days. I don't know. Maybe controller bros would find a use for this. Because back in the day, in PUBG, you could lean left and right? So I had a foot pedal back then, but I would have both my feet on it and press 1 for lean left, right for lean right? But this one would have made it much easier. So this is more of a personal preference if you want to use 1 foot or 2, right? But that's the part number, model number, and specs, in case anybody cares about this thing. Okay, so I'm gonna try my best and go through these monitors with my phone as best as I can. So this one here, this one is the 32-inch QD OLED 4K 240 Hertz. Now, I can already tell just by looking at the screen, you guys wouldn't be able to tell, it's quite dim. It's not, I mean, I'm used to the Neo G8, so obviously that's gonna be bright as shit, but this one, not too bright. And I also checked, and it does not have a 1080p 480 hertz mode, does not have a 1440p 360 hertz mode. So I guess the only time you would pick this screen is if you don't like the curve of the G8 or the curve of the Alienware, basically. It's a flat screen, right? Also, these numbers on the top, when you see them, that's not the actual FPS displayed by the display. It's just showing what the display can refresh at, right? It's kind of, you know. Okay, this one here is a 27-inch 360 hertz 1440p OLED. I guess it has thermal solution. I guess they tried to increase the brightness of it, but again, you guys wouldn't be able to tell, but this thing is dim as shit. So, but you also have to factor in my bias into the whole equation. You guys know that I like my screens extremely bright. So, I mean, the picture does, I mean, you know guys, OLEDs look stunning, obviously, but for some reason, I just can't get behind them in terms of like a main gaming screen, just because the brightness is not there versus traditional VA and LCDs, right? So I would say based on looking on this, we're probably still a couple of years away from actually having like 360. I mean, if you played in a dark ass room, this probably would be the best screen for esports, just because it's an OLED 360 hertz, right? But if you're playing COD, you're still gonna have brightness issues on this one. Okay, this one here's 1440p ultra-wide, 175 hertz, also an OLED. And this is, I can actually see, I can get a way better clear picture because the screen's on a Excel spreadsheet. And yeah, very, very dim. It's just an OLED problem, right? But again, factor in my, I like when the screen turns white, I like my irises to be burned, how much I like my screens to be bright, right? So again, if you have any of the other OLED screens, the brightness is the same on this one, it looks like. Okay, so this one here is the one that probably we're all going to be interested in. Nice bright screen, right? What is it? It's a 1440p 500 hertz monitor. So this is IPS, obviously. So yeah, this is going to be the one that we're all looking forward to. It's going to be this one versus the OLED, depending on if brightness matters to you, right? I would probably say the OLED over there is going to be better for picture clarity. This one is going to be better for like CSGO, Overwatch. So I gave it a shot, and you guys wouldn't be able to tell, but this is not running at 500 FPS, not even close. It's probably more like, it honestly feels, so something's not configured properly. It feels like 90 FPS, honestly. But they're also using, I looked into it, they're using a 4060 Ti for this one. So they're kind of using an underpowered rig for this monitor. So like, I don't know what the actual FPS is. Let me ask if I can actually go turn it on. Okay, so I did get permission to turn on the FPS counter and check out what's going on. And he said it was okay if I tried lowering some settings too, because it does, yeah, it doesn't feel, I guess let's try enabling the FPS first, and then that might give us a better picture of what's going on. Because I really want to give this screen its fair shot, right? Let's see what they got going on here. Let's go to NVIDIA control panel. No, it does say 1440p 500 hertz. Yeah, it's there. No, something does not look right here, man. Okay, let's enable developer console and see what the actual frames are here. Aha, see? So yeah, something is wrong here. It's bouncing between 240 FPS and 340 FPS. So I don't know what that 500 number is in the top left, but that is not 500 hertz. I can tell right away. That's interesting. Let's see if we can actually get that. Why is it locked at 256? Let me see if I can fix it. 500 hertz full screen. I guess I'm gonna fix their computer for them right now. Here we go. Performance. Disabled. Reflex, yeah, let's do that. Still doesn't, it still looks funky. Which is a shame. It's not really a display thing, it's a PC thing. No, this looks like 120 hertz. No, so I can't give a good judge of the screen based off of this PC. Which is super unfortunate, because basically my whole audience wants to see this thing. Oh, that's too bad. Oh well, we'll have to move on, boys. Dude, I wonder how many media actually tested that monitor and didn't know it was running at 200 FPS. Oh man. Okay, I just wanted to come by one more time and check out the fish tank thing. Yeah, this is by far this is the thing I'm most excited about from MSI launch. Of all the stuff in here, honestly, it's this case, man. I'm 100% buying this thing when it launches. I don't know, I'm not sure if it actually says, oh, the case is a Meg Maestro 700L PZ. So keep that in mind for anyone that actually wants to. I'll be grabbing this thing and reviewing it for sure, but there you go. So let's actually take a second look at these 12-volt high power connectors here. They actually market it as a 2x6, so this is the updated connector, right? So freely, I mean, Cable Mod advertised the same shit, so we're not sure if it'll actually 8-layer PCB, 2-ounce thickened copper. I mean, there's no way to tell. I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out. But the advertising of 2x16 does give me hope that these ones won't melt cards as well, right? The current over voltage protection mechanism ensures current flow only when wiring. So they got some kind of circuitry in there that will detect the. I wonder if I can't really. So I guess they got some kind of circuitry in here that will detect the current draw. Ensures current flow only when, so maybe it'll just turn off your card if it's not seated all the way. Interesting. So I think they're on the right track here. So not really a point in covering these graphics cards. They're all basically refreshes of the models that we already seen from MSI. So nothing new here. Okay, so that's gonna be it for the MSI booth. Say goodbye. I covered all the, I mean, laptops we don't care about, guys, so whatever. But I covered all the stuff that is important to us, so thanks to MSI for inviting me and letting me in here and checking out all their stuff. All right, see you guys in the next one.